Okay. All right, Brittney, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hello.
I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that we connected through a mutual friend on Facebook, and we connected because of our mutual passion around health and healing and body, mind, and spirit. So I am excited to just kind of just have a discussion with you today. And thank
Yes, likewise, likewise.
Okay, good. So we're just gonna really what I wanted to kind of hone in on is just wellness in general, mind, body, spirit connection, and just kind of whatever comes up there. But I was curious to know from you, how did this um passion for healing start with you? What's your story behind that?
Well, I actually feel like it started when I was a little girl. When I was younger, I sort of always wanted to take care of people and be a nurse. And that's actually where the passion driven also started behind why I'm into what I'm into. My family has a strong history of breast cancer. So my mother was first diagnosed when I was 20, when she was 26, and I was like 11 years old. She had me at like 15, so that's why that gap is like that. But so it started there, and actually, she had cancer. Then her mother eventually became diagnosed with breast cancer, and then it just started running in our family. And I lost my mother is a two-time cancer survivor, but I lost my grandmother at 17. So now we fast forward to when I become an adult. So I become a nurse, and just um, that's when it just really went from there. Actually being out there, getting a better passion for everything, seeing everything hands on, and it started there. But more of the holistic aspect of it came from me actually going to get genetic testing,
Mm.
and they really suggested and were trying to persuade me to remove my breast at the age of 28.
Oh my gosh. Because
Yes.
of your family history now, had you had any symptoms of anything, prior?
No, but my genetic testing come back. I had tested positive for like a few of the genes. So they were like, it would decrease your chances by 99%. And so I was going back and forth with that for a little while. And then I was like, you know what? Why would I remove my breast without even giving it a chance to change my lifestyle? Because I knew I wasn't eating, doing right. And that actually came along when I took a job working for a gastroenterologist doing care coordinating.
Mhm.
That's when I start connecting gut health and liver and everything like that. So I knew it was changes that I needed to make. So that's how my passion started.
Wow, that is incredible. It made me think about something when you talked about how they wanted you to remove the breast.
Hmm.
It's amazing how a lot of the medical field or doctors kind of go to removal of
Hmm.
something major or a major organ right away
Hmm.
as a way of healing. It reminds me of my journey with my thyroid and when I was diagnosed with Graves' disease in
Hmm.
2015. And my very first appointment with my endocrinologist, he started talking about removing my thyroid.
Wow.
And
Wow.
he hammered on that probably every appointment that we had, he would bring it up. And I said, well, why not give me a chance to see if the medication works?
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, well, the medication is probably going to damage your liver and stuff like that. And I
Oh,
said, well,
wow.
if I don't have a thyroid, I really have to take the hormone versus
Yes.
if it by chance is reversed, maybe I can reduce it or not have to take it. And so, fast forward to today, I'm not totally off the medication, but I am on the lowest dose. And now I'm taking it every
Wow.
other day. And I stopped going to see that particular physician because I felt harassed. So it just, you talking
Wow.
about that just made me think about what I went through and how many people go through that type of treatment. Meaning
Yes.
I call it kind of like subtle harassment to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. So
Yes.
okay, so you decided you're not gonna do that, but you knew you needed to make a change in your diet and lifestyle and stuff. So kind of what started happening then?
So, and that really prompted from working, doing the care coordinating. And I was calling at the time, I felt so guilty. It's funny. Me and other nurses that were working were talking. We were like, every day we going over diet, what they should be eating, helping people with their weight. And we also did medication management. But we were all overweight and eating the worst, doing the worst. I was at the time well over probably 180 pounds, wearing a size 13, 15. And I was like, how am I preaching all this stuff and, going over diet, the water, my water?
Oh, you got muted. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Sorry
Okay.
about
Yep,
that.
yep, yep.
You
Okay.
hear me? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I was like, I just felt guilty. And then it's so crazy. It's so crazy. I feel like in the midst of my lifestyle changes and everything, a spiritual awakening took place.
Hmm.
Because I actually, after I left that job, I enrolled back to school because I was going back to get my RN. So I completed classes, did everything to do, was getting ready, spent money, wasted $300 on the test to test into the program. And then God just spoke to me. I enrolled into a holistic college. It was like, I don't want to keep treating people's symptoms. I want to help get to the root cause of everything. And that like sort of started I started just buying books before I even enrolled into the college, just learning more about herbs, natural healing, watching Dr. Stevie videos. I started following different people that I knew would help me on my journey on Instagram, Queen of Fua,
Hmm.
different people that did plant-based. Like I just was using that as motivation. And I just sort of, once I got into it, it was like, it was no turning back.
Wow.
No turning back.
It is no turning back once you start learning, and you said something powerful here is treating symptoms versus getting to the
To
root
the root
cause.
cause, the root
And
cause.
that unfortunately is the experience that most of us have.
Hmm.
When we go to doctors, they're constantly treating symptoms. And
Hmm.
I think what people get mixed up on, let's just take if we were to take something like high blood pressure and you're taking medication and it's making your numbers look better, but if
Hmm.
you have not made any lifestyle changes to reverse some of the damage that's being done, I think a lot of people don't understand that you can still have a heart attack, you can still
Yes.
and be on medication. Can you
And
touch?
more importantly, what hurts my heart with the people that get so complacent on high blood pressure medication is damaging your kidneys.
Mm,
Later on, you see these same people like dialysis and kidney failure, and that as a nurse, it's like it's hard after going back to college and learning more about holistic health. Sometimes it's hard being a nurse, taking care of people, seeing this every day, and knowing that I'm given the pills for this. And it's like, if people only knew that medication, just that pill is in the moment lowering your pressure. But any other time, you're steady damaging your heart by eating things you're not supposed to. So say you're getting your blood pressure down, but you can still die from a heart attack if you're filling your arteries up with plaque and everything like that. And you also, in turn, taking the medication, you damaging your kidneys. So it's like, and knowing this, it's like, I'm treating one symptom right now, but later on, I'm going to suffer from this plus this and something else.
Mm. Yeah, that hits home with the kidney thing. My dad, when he passed away in 2022, he had chronic kidney disease and he had stomach cancer. But
Wow.
the I'm telling you, just taking that medication and not there were certain things in his lifestyle he was not willing to let go of, and
Yeah.
such as the alcohol and stuff like that. And I believe that just was, that just.
Mm. Another thing, while we're talking about medication that hurts my heart, a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people suffer from this because we're not going to give up what we love to eat, and that's acid reflux.
Oh, talk about that.
Acid reflux, the medication, and I learned this with doing care coordinating for the gastroenterologist. Taking that medication like omeprazole or anything like that, what's the generic for it? Like basically any acid reflux medication over the counter, anything. Do you know you're not supposed to take that for longer than about 2 years? Because after so long, or what it does, it's damaging your stomach lining. And the more that you're taking that medication, but the more you're steady eating foods that you're not supposed to, you're damaging your esophagus. And there's so many people I've seen now working as a nurse that have to get their esophagus stretched. They go through all these surgeries. And
Yeah.
guess again what they still taking? The medication for acid reflux, and they're steady eating everything that
Okay.
aggravates the acid reflux.
Yes. Let me tell you how that hits home for me. Before I started my health journey, and this is something I tell people: just because something is common does not mean it's normal. I was the
No.
kind of person for years, Brittney. I would take I keep Tums and Rolaids in my purse because
Mhm.
I knew after I ate, let's say a pasta meal or Chinese food,
Right.
certain things,
Right.
I said,
Mhm.
oh, now this is what I would tell myself. These are the lies that we tell ourselves. These are the
Mhm.
stories we create in our heads. Oh, well, let me take this because I know I'm about to eat this kind
Mhm.
of food and I don't, or, oh, if I have this, and it used to happen to me too. If I have this wine before bed, I knew I was going to have this,
Right.
and so let me take this to,
Yep.
and so we get so accustomed to doing things that is not normal. And
Mhm.
while we're doing that, to your point, we're causing further damage. We don't realize we're causing further damage. And so
Mhm.
once I started eating more alkalizing foods and more fruits and vegetables and doing my juices and letting go for me, letting go of dairy and letting go of fatty, greasy meat and all of that kind of stuff, all of my heartburn issues went away.
Mhm.
All my acid reflux issues went away. And it's naturally. And thank God I did that. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to you. It's like
Right.
you just kind of throwing, you think you're putting out the fire, but that fire is still
Mhm.
smoldering.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you went to the root cause and
yeah.
you eliminated, like you got it out of there. So it's like it's no need. It's like we are accidentally starting fires,
Ooh.
but not even knowing it. And it's like later on, it's like it's a slow burn. And then later on, and this is how we hear this so much too. Now all of a sudden they talking about this wrong, that wrong. We've been slowly lighting fires and then it blow up in our face and it's Like now, hey.
Wow. How do you because this is you're on two sides, I say. And
Hmm.
first of all, thank goodness someone like you are in the medical field. So you're in the medical field, you're seeing the traditional ways of them treating symptoms, but God has blessed you to be a healer also, and these other parts. How do you
Hmm.
reckon how do you deal with that in your patients and how you talk to them and stuff like that?
It's it it was hard at first because through COVID and actually during me starting my holistic journey and everything, I took a break from work for about a year. I didn't work the floor because mentally through COVID and everything, I had to take a step back. And so that allowed me to like just really get hands-on involved. And when I went back to work, I did a travel assignment to Nebraska and it was making me sick.
Wow.
I only did 4 weeks. It was making me sick, giving all the medications, listening to people, hearing them suffer, they're suffering. And it's like me knowing what I know now. And at that time, well, I had also started a business, Majestic Garden, and that backstory is crazy because I didn't even go into it to start a business. I had just started really sharing my results and started helping my family, and they started spreading the word, and it just took off and went like just helping everybody now. But me knowing that, like for instance, with the sea moss gel, me knowing 2 tablespoons of this every day can like eliminate probably half of the pills you taking, and in turn it's going to actually heal your body. But it's like just the mental of, I'm giving all this stuff and I know it's hurting him worse, I know it's doing more harm than it's doing good. So I ended my assignment after 4 weeks and
Wow.
took another little break. So
Yeah.
it was very hard getting back into there, but now, thank God, it's like me knowing my information and stuff. I look at it like as a nurse, I still get to be a blessing to
Yeah.
others by the type of care that I provide because every day, like my residents, they're like, I just wish it was something we can do for you. You're so this, and that. And I'm just like, y'all deserve it. You do enough. I love just like help. Like I said, since a kid, I just always wanted to help and just like spread light, spread love. Me knowing that I'm doing that and fulfilling my purpose, it's like that means more to me than anything.
Mm.
So that's how like I balance because every day it's like is somebody looking forward to like my face, my smile. I take time even though I'm a nurse, I'll sit and listen and talk to them for 30 minutes. Like,
Wow.
you know, I be myself. I show up as me.
I love it. The authenticity. Let me just shift a little bit though, because we talk about mind, body, spirit connection, and what you're saying is making me think of that because you also bringing healing through love
Hmm.
and kindness
Hmm.
and all of that. So
Yes.
how important is you know our mental health and how do we
Oh my God.
yeah, why is it so critical for us to take care of ourselves mentally and spiritually too as we look at us in totality?
Yes, like stress for one thing,
Mm.
if we're actually connecting to like mind, body, and spirit, we don't realize when we're angry, stressed, you've heard of the fight or flight mode, and
Yes.
imagine your body steady going into a state of stress. And it's like inside, like your vessels constricting and everything.
Mm.
And our organs rely on blood to get to them for them to do what they need to do, or else they're weakening.
Mm.
So the more stressed or whatever, that's one thing. we harming our body internally. And then it's like everything is connected with the mind. If you cutting off or restricting the blood flow from flowing properly, like through your body, through your brain, your circulation, what are you doing? And also just like speaking an aspect of spirit or energy, it's like I believe in like heavily in vibration. And
Yeah.
like if you're always vibrating at a low state, that's what you're gonna always attract in matters of like mind, your health, everything.
Hmm.
Everything.
Mm, I totally agree. I this past year I took I call it my sabbatical from corporate America. I was a senior leader managing an organization of about 50 something people. And what I realized when my dad um, passed away, leading up to his death, I was helping my mom, help take care of him and stuff like that. Then he passed, and then I was helping coordinate things with my family and helping my mom and stuff. And I realized I was not taking time for myself and taking care of me. And that kind of led up to me taking the break from work. In the first week of me taking that break, I was sitting in my den. All of a sudden, I realized I was breathing different, Brittney.
Oh
That
wow.
that my breathing, probably leading up to that, had been shallow because of probably stress. And I realized I was breathing a little bit deeper. I started going to yoga, and that even helped more. And my yoga teacher told me that what you just talked about, the fight and flight mode,
Mm-hmm.
she was telling me, she was like, she said, you've been operating in that so long, you didn't even realize it. And I think that's the case
Wow.
for many, many of us. We
Mm-hmm.
operate, I'm going to say particularly Black women, pop, 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 go, 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 fix this, solve this, or whatever. We don't even
Yes.
realize. But when you take that step back and learn, oh my goodness, I gotta breathe, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
meditate or pray, I gotta just sit still.
Release.
Yes, release. That is healing to the body as well. And that's what you
Yes.
really think about. And when we are just not designed for that. And that's why people hit brick walls. That's why our body will finally say, stop, enough. You know, you may be
And
laying out. Yeah.
it's like what you were saying earlier, like how we make things normal.
Yeah.
We've normalized the wrong things, and it's like it goes back to generational curses and everything. And it's like we make stuff normal because that's what we've been used to. That's what we've seen done. But it's like, no, that's not the right way to do things to live your life to the fullest. We don't want to stay in survival mode for forever. Like we don't deserve that.
No, that's meant for temporary things. That's like, oh,
Hmm.
a dog is chasing you. You're in fight and flight mode, okay? Then your body eventually is supposed to adjust to back. Your
Yes.
adrenals come back to normal and all of that. But
Right.
yeah, we're normalizing being in it 24/7. So,
Yes,
oh
yes.
my
And that's
goodness.
why by the time most of us are hitting 50 and 60, we should still be vibrant and moving around, feeling good, looking good. We not. We're
Oh,
not. And that's catching up to us.
oh,
But we're not, we've normalized it so much that everybody, when we talk how we're talking now, still to a lot of the audience, we're not talking normal because they've always done this. Like I was told, I was made the comment by an elderly person. She's probably like in her 70s and 80s. This is her saying, and this is how I feel like most of us look at it. I've done this my whole life, and look at me now. I'm still, I've always ate this stuff, and it ain't that. But it's like you ain't telling, lady, your blood work at the doctor. You're taking medicine, or you're not taking it, and it's like you're not able to do and live your life how you want to. So is that really Are you really not seeing it, or is it just you don't want to see it?
I think it goes back to, well, like you say, we normalize it, but also we grew up.
Mm-hmm.
It got to a point to where you grew up and grandma and granddaddy are taking medications and still going on, and they got blood
Mm-hmm.
pressure and got high cholesterol, diabetes, or different things. And so we see it so prevalent in our community. We become numb to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or
It's
I
like,
can just take this
it's like,
pill
oh,
and it's
when I was
fine.
32, and that doctor, I never forget his face. I forgot his name, thank goodness, but I can't forget his face. When he told me, it was a black doctor, told me I had high blood pressure, 32 years old. Instead of
Wow.
him telling me stuff I could do to reverse it, he started telling me that I would probably have kidney damage. I would be on medication for my whole life,
Wow.
my family history of it.
Wow.
Yes, at 32 years old. And Brittney, now that I think about it, my blood pressure was probably, I think it was like 130 over 90 then. Now, you and I both know that's something you
All for
can,
life. What's up with lifestyle changes? Incorporate water. Are you exercising? What are you
and back
doing? What are
then,
you
I wasn't drinking
eating?
water. I wasn't eating right. I drank a lot of sodas. I had a lot of sugar. So, see, those are things I don't even do
Right.
anymore. But, oh my, I don't even know where I
And
was
my
going.
thing, look how it all could have been so simple. Say, listen to how many people do take that advice and they get on that medication. What it could have been a simply, look, education. Hey, you can make this change, X this, because if I give you this and you get to taking it later on, you could possibly suffer from this and this. But it's like that's not the business that they're into. So it's like you're not
Ugh.
they went to practice medicine, not study the body. So they're going to promote what they practice, medicine.
Yeah. And from what I hear and what I read, that a lot of them don't really get any classes around the nutritional aspect and holistic stuff anyway. So it's just like you said, it's just is practicing. Now for me with uh the high blood pressure and stuff that I've learned is so many of us are magnesium deficient because we're not eating these fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And so for me, by me switching to that and also getting additional minerals, be it from sea moss gel or Celtic salt or other things, that is a part of my healing regimen. For
Mm-hmm.
me, is I'm always making sure I'm getting a ton of magnesium and potassium
Mm-hmm.
every day, and watching that sugar, because people don't understand
Yes.
sugar and
Ooh,
high carbohydrate foods and processed foods will impact your blood
that's
too.
one whole conversation in itself. And it's like the truth behind that, learning in school. Oh my God. That's
Oh,
just one whole separate
we need
conversation.
to we're gonna schedule a whole different conversation talking about that, because that's
Oh my God.
but let me ask you this before we draw to a close and stuff, and you touched on this in our conversation, but how has your journey, everything you went through, how has that shaped you into the Brittney you are today?
Oh my God. I never told, before I actually started my journey, I was on medication for like anxiety, panic
Mm,
attacks, depression. And so it's like, it was just amazing, the journey in itself, just seeing how, like we talk about connecting mind, body, and
yeah.
spirit. It's like, oh my God. So once starting my journey, I got to see like how it was affecting my mental health, but I did also like a lot of diet changes. Like I say, I believe what we eat, it plays a factor into like our mental health and everything
Mm,
too. And also what a lot of people don't know, I feel that's where the sea moss heavily came into place. Most of the time, we don't really have anxiety or depression. You can be mineral deficient,
yeah.
and that's where that comes from. So it's like me connecting all that together and changing how I ate. Like I quit eating meat for about 2 years, a little over 2 years. Like I cut out sugar, a lot of like everything. And I just started feeling amazing. I was like, I'm feeling like I'm 18, 19 years old. Like the weight was dropping off, the energy. And it's like everything, once I started taking steps, everything just started flowing. Like I did a lot of grounding, a lot of out in nature eating, like
Mm.
just a lot of getting into meditating. I love my crystals. I love like I just got addicted to it's like I got addicted to feeling good, and the journey became just amazing because how I felt, and it I knew it was no turning back, no turning back. And also, like going to another thing that's big for me, like I went back for my checkup to my doctor the beginning of this year. And it was like we were both in tears because when she last seen me, I was overweight. I've always had pretty good blood work or whatever. I haven't been, I wasn't the worst person, but I could have done better. But I was on medications for anxiety, depression. Like at the time, we were like, I was at a low point. And this time she got to see me not on any medications. I could honestly say I feel good. I feel great. My mental health is in a great space. I'm not dependent on any medications. I had excellent blood work. Like everything was amazing. And it's like that's just been my motivation. And also, I've enjoyed bringing my children on the journey, and it's just
Mm.
been and they love it. They love learning about herbal teas. My daughter, she's in college at MTSU. It prompted her to take like more African study classes where she's messaged me like everything, like your herbs and stuff you talk about. I've been hearing some of the same stuff, and it's just been amazing. It's just been amazing.
Oh my goodness. You said something, I wrote it down. Addicted, you're addicted to feeling good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
That's
that
just feeling
that whole
good.
statement resonates with me, and that is what grounds me and roots me into just keep going forth. Because once I
Yes.
start feeling better, like you said, I'm 52,
Yes.
and I'm like, I'm
Oh
52
my
feeling better
God.
than I did at 32.
Yes.
And so I'm
Yes.
like, this, I had never felt like this
Mhm.
before. And that is what keeps me. That's what keeps me
Yes.
when, for me, I don't do meat anymore and stuff like that. So when people try, I'm telling people they will try to entice you with everything. But that
I
is,
hate I had to start. I started back eating because I got so
yeah.
little. I got so small. I was scared. I was scared. My weight.
Oh, you're talking about with the meat thing. Well, everybody's different, right?
Yes.
I'm not, but
Yes.
I was just saying for me, it was something I needed to kind of let go of for now. I don't know if maybe
Yes.
something changed. I,
Yes.
I don't know, um, but that addicted to feeling good, that's what's
Yes.
gonna keep us. That's what's
Yes.
gonna keep us going forward. And whoo, Brittney, we could go on and on. This is wow.
I love this is my happy place. These types of
I-
conversations. Oh my God.
oh my goodness. Listen, before you mentioned Majestic Garden. So do you have a website you want to just kind of put out there before we close out? And
It's majesticgarden22.com, and I have like I do sea moss gels. I have a purple sea moss gel, regular, bladderwrack infused, and also green. And I also do elderberry syrup and different herbal teas on there. But yeah, that's my little baby that started out of nowhere during my health journey.
oh, wonderful, wonderful. And thank you for some of the great things you sent me too. So, oh,
Yeah.
okay, Brittney. You know what? We're just gonna have to continue the conversation at a later time when I can get back on your busy schedule
Yeah.
and
Yes.
talk through some more things health and wellness related, because that's our passion. And
Yes.
so thankful for us coming together, right? And being obedient to that. God draws people together, like-minded people together. And
Mhm.
so I'm excited, and please know that I continue to learn from you. Thank you for
Oh,
all.
and likewise, I'm appreciative for shout out to Sonia for introducing us.
Yes,
Yes.
Sonia Rodriguez. All right.
Yes.
All right. I am just 1 second here. Well, listen, Brittney, be well, and we will talk again soon.
Thank you. You do the same. Have a blessed week.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.